The waves crashed like accusations against the shore, but Ariana's voice cut through sharper than any surf. Annie, I can't pretend anymore. I've been in love with you since that stupid road trip in high school, and it's killing me. Her words hung in the salty air of that Costa Brava beach, the kind of place where secrets wash up like driftwood, and in that instant, the world tilted, my best friend's face illuminated by the dying embers of a Spanish sunset, her dark eyes pleading for a truth I'd buried deeper than shipwrecks. I froze, the hem of my sundress sodden from the tide, my heart slamming against my ribs like it wanted to escape into the sea. We'd come to Spain to escape, me from the wreckage of my engagement to Mark, her from whatever ghosts chased her through New York galleries. But this was the anchor I'd never seen coming, pulling us under. That night on the beach, with the moon rising fat and indifferent over the Mediterranean, we did something reckless. We kissed. Not the tentative peck of friends testing waters, but a desperate collision of lips and breaths and years of unspoken longing, our hands tangling in hair and fabric as if we could rewrite our history right there in the sand. It wasn't planned, it was survival. And as the stars wheeled overhead, I whispered into her neck, "What now?" Knowing damn well nothing would ever be the same. We'd been inseparable since freshman year at NYU. Two wide-eyed kids from the Midwest crashing into the concrete jungle of Manhattan. I was Annie Harper, the practical one, art history major with a side hustle in graphic design, always sketching in notebooks to make sense of chaos. Ariana Vasquez, with her wild curls and sharper wit, was the dreamer, a photography student who chased light like it owed her something. We bonded over late-night diner runs, sharing greasy fries and dreams of escaping the 9-to-5 grind for something real. "Screw the American dream," she'd say, her laugh like wind chimes in a storm. "Let's chase sunsets instead." By 25, we'd built a life tangled like our friendship bracelets, still wearing those faded threads a decade later. I got engaged to Mark, the safe choice, a finance bro with a jawline and a 401k, who proposed on a yacht in the Hamptons because that's what people like us did. Ariana cheered loudest at the party, but her eyes. God, her eyes held storms I pretended not to see. She dated sporadically, artists, baristas, a poet who left her for Paris, but nothing stuck. "You're the constant," she'd text at 2 a.m., and I'd roll over in Mark's arms, ignoring the twist in my gut. Then 3 months ago it all shattered. Mark's business trip to Vegas turned into tabloid fodder. Photos of him tangled with his assistant in a penthouse suite. The ring hit the trash like a bad sketch, and I fled to Ariana's Brooklyn walk-up, sobbing into her shoulder until dawn. "Spain," she declared over coffee that tasted like regret. 2 weeks in Costa Brava. No exes, no drama. Just us, the sea, and enough wine to drown the memories. Sounded like salvation. Our Airbnb was a whitewashed villa perched on cliffs above the turquoise cove of Cadax, the kind of spot Salvador Dali once painted fever dreams in. We arrived jet-lagged and laughing, lugging suitcases stuffed with sundresses and sketch pads. Days blurred into a haze of exploration. Wandering cobblestone streets lined with bougainvillea, haggling for ceramics in Figueres markets, devouring paella under olive groves where the air hummed with cicadas. Ariana's camera clicked endlessly, capturing me mid-laugh against graffiti walls, or silhouetted on rocky outcrops, the sea a sapphire backdrop. "You're glowing here," she'd say, and I'd blush, blaming the rose. Nights were for the beach, that sliver of sand tucked between jagged cliffs, accessible only by a winding path locals called Lover's Descent. We'd hike down with picnic baskets, manchego cheese, figs, bottles of Priorat red, spreading blankets as the sun dipped, painting the water in strokes of fire. Conversation flowed easy at first, dissecting Mark's betrayal. He was always more spreadsheet than soul. Ariana spat, sharing crushes from college we'd never acted on. But under the stars, with the waves whispering conspiracies, the air thickened. It started small. A brush of hands passing the wine. Her head on my shoulder during a meteor shower. Breath warm against my collarbone. I told myself it was the magic of place, the way Spain stripped pretenses, leaving you raw as an unpainted canvas. But deep down I knew. I'd always known. The way my pulse raced when she entered a room. How her laugh could unravel my worst days. I chalked it up to sisterly love, the kind society boxed neat and platonic. Coming out. Not in my cards. Not with my conservative Kansas roots. A family that still sent Bible verses via text. That fateful night, 5 days in, the sky was ink black, stars pricked like promises. We'd hiked down after a dinner of grilled sardines in town, the path lit by our phone flashlights. Ariana was quieter than usual, fiddling with her camera strap. "What's eating you?" I asked, kicking off sandals to feel the cool sand. She stopped, facing the sea, waves foaming white at her feet. "Annie, I need to tell you something." Her voice cracked, and when she turned, tears silvered her cheeks. That's when the hook sank in, the confession that upended everything. "I've loved you for years. Not like friends. Like this." She gestured wildly between us, then stepped closer, her hand trembling as it cupped my face. Time fractured. Part of me wanted to pull away, to laugh it off as wine-fueled whimsy. But another part, the one starved for authenticity, leaned in. Our lips met, soft at first, exploratory, tasting of salt and secrets. Then deeper, urgent, her fingers threading my hair, my arms wrapping her waist as if she might dissolve into the tide. The world narrowed to the heat of her mouth, the crash of waves sinking with our breaths. When we broke apart, gasping, foreheads pressed, she whispered, "Say something. Please. I think I love you too." The words tumbled out, terrifying and true, like jumping from that cliff path into the unknown blue. We sank to the blanket, tangled in each other. Not crossing lines but holding on fierce, sharing stories we'd never voiced. Her first crush on a girl in Catholic school, suppressed under rosaries. My stolen glances at women's lithe forms in museums, guilt sketching shadows over my desires. Dawn crept in pink and gold, finding us asleep in each other's arms, the sea a lullaby. The next morning, over café con leche on the villa terrace, reality intruded. "What about when we go home?" I asked, tracing patterns in the foam. Ariana's smile faltered. "One step at a time. This is us now." But now was fragile as sea glass. We spent the week in a bubble. Stolen kisses on hidden coves, hands linked under cafe tables, her camera capturing us in frames of tentative joy. I sketched her portrait by candlelight, capturing the curve of her jaw, the spark in her eyes that said she'd fight for this. For the first time I felt seen, not as the good daughter or the reliable friend, but as Annie, whole and wanting. Yet shadows loomed. My phone buzzed with texts from home. Mom's worried voicemails, Mark's apologetic emails deleted unread. Ariana's family, staunch Cuban immigrants in Miami, knew her phase with women but expected marriage, grandkids. "They'll come around," she insisted, but doubt flickered. On day 10, conflict brewed. We'd planned a hike to Cap de Creus, the rugged peninsula where wind-sculpted rocks mimicked our twisted hearts. En route, in a seaside bar in Roses, my phone lit up with a call from Sarah, my old college roommate. "Annie, oh God, have you seen the news? Mark's engaged to her. Some influencer chick. It's all over Insta." The bar spun. I excused myself to the bathroom, splashing water on my face, but Ariana followed. "Talk to me." Her hand on my back was anchor and spark. "It's nothing," I lied, but tears betrayed me. She pulled me into a hug, murmuring Spanish endearments she picked up from locals. "Mi amor corazón." In that dim tile-floored space, with reggaeton pulsing faintly, we kissed again. Fierce against the sink, a rebellion against the ache. Back at the villa that evening, vulnerability cracked open. "I was going to tell you about the engagement party," she admitted over dinner, her fork pushing olives aside. "Before Spain. But then Mark imploded and I didn't want to pile on." My fork clattered. "You knew? And you didn't say." Her eyes widened. "I was protecting you. You were a mess, Annie. I thought time would heal it." "Protecting me? Or keeping me close?" The words lashed out, born of hurt I'd nursed solo. We argued into the night, voices rising over the cliffs, accusations flying like gulls. She stormed to her room, I to the balcony, staring at the sea that now mocked our fragility. Dawn brought no truce, only a brittle silence at breakfast. Ariana emerged with coffee, her curls tamed into a bun, eyes puffy but defiant. "I'm sorry," she said, sliding a mug my way. "I should have trusted you with it. But you bottle everything, Annie, always have." I sipped, the bitterness mirroring my mood. "And you bulldoze. This isn't just some photo series you can edit for the perfect shot." Hurt simmered, but under it, longing. We'd crossed into uncharted waters. Turning back felt like drowning. We drove to Barcelona that day, needing distance from the villa's ghosts. The city pulsed with life. Gaudi's Sagrada Familia spiraling skyward like our aspirations. Las Ramblas thronged with street performers and flower stalls. Ariana linked her arm through mine as we wandered the Gothic quarter, the gesture casual to passersby but electric to us. "Truce," she murmured, buying me a gelato and pistachio swirls. "Truce," I echoed, licking the cone, our shoulders brushing. Forgiveness came in fragments. A shared laugh at a mime's antics, her hand squeezing mine in the Picasso Museum, where blue periods echoed our own. That night, in a tiny pension overlooking the harbor, we shared a bed. Not lovers yet, but close enough that sleep brought dreams of beaches and confessions. Back in Cadaqués 2 days later, the bubble reformed, fragile but resilient. We resumed our ritual. Beach walks at twilight, her camera framing sunsets, my sketches filling with her silhouette against the waves. One evening, as we picnicked with Jaman and Membrillo, she pulled out a small leather journal. "Read this," she said, cheeks flushing. It was her letters, dozens unsent spanning years. Pages of ink-stained longing. Descriptions of my laugh in coffee shops, the way my brow furrowed over canvases, pleas to the universe for courage. "I wrote them to survive," she explained, voice thick. "To hold the love without breaking us." Tears blurred the words. I closed the book, pulling her close. "You could have broken me sooner, in the best way." Our kiss that night was slower, reverent, lips tracing apologies and affections under a canopy of stars. No rush, just the quiet unraveling of guards long held. But Spain's magic couldn't quarantine our realities. My phone silenced but insistent piled notifications. Family group chats probing my healing vacation. Mark's latest post. A glossy announcement of his engagement, her hand flashing a diamond bigger than his ego. Rage bubbled, but Ariana tempered it. "He's a footnote. You're the story." Hers was thornier. A call from her sister Elena mid-hike, voice tinny over the cliffs. "Mommy's asking when you're settling down, Ari. That photographer guy from last year? Tell her I'm fine," Ariana snapped, ending the call. Later, over churros in town, she confessed. "They love me, but conditionally. Like, be gay, but don't make it your life. It's exhausting." I took her hand across the cafe table. "Then let's make it ours. No conditions." The words felt bold, American in their optimism. Two women claiming space in a world that portioned it stingily. Yet conflict coiled tighter. On our penultimate day, we joined a local art workshop in Peratolata, a medieval village of stone arches and wildflowers. Surrounded by expats and tourists daubing canvases, I painted Ariana. Her profile fierce against a stormy sea, brushstrokes capturing the fire I'd always admired. She photographed the room, but her lens lingered on me, clicks soft as breaths. After, in a shaded courtyard, she showed me her shots. Me lost in creation, paint smeared and alive. "This is you, unapologetic." But as we scrolled, a text pinged her phone, from Javier, the photographer guy. "Elena's not-so-subtle setup. Dinner when you're back? Miss your fire." Her face shuddered. "Ignore it," I said, but jealousy nipped, irrational but there. Who was I to claim exclusivity? We hadn't labeled this. It was a Spanish interlude, wasn't it? That night, back on our beach, the argument ignited. We'd hiked down with lanterns, the path familiar now, but tension crackled like distant thunder. "You're not replying, right?" I asked, spreading the blanket too sharply. Ariana sighed, uncorking wine. "It's polite. Doesn't mean anything. But it does to me." My voice rose, waves amplifying the echo. "We've bared souls here, and you're entertaining ghosts?" She stood, silhouette sharp against the foam. "And you're projecting Mark onto every shadow. This isn't betrayal, Annie, it's life. Messy like us." Words escalated. My accusations of emotional hedging, her retorts about my closet-deep fears. "You think I haven't waited? Years of being your safe harbor while you sailed with him." She hurled a seashell into the dark, the plunk lost in surf. I recoiled, stung. "I didn't know. How could I when you never said?" "Because saying it risked everything." Tears streaked her face, illuminated by moonlight. "Our friendship, your stability. I chose you every time, even when it carved me hollow." Silence fell. heavy as the tide pulling out. We sat apart, knees drawn, the space between us a chasm wider than the Atlantic. Eventually she crawled over, head on my lap. I'm scared too. Of losing you for real. I stroked her hair, salt-stiff curls yielding. Then don't let go. We mended under stars, kisses sealing fractures, but the scar tissue itched a warning. The final day dawned crystalline, mocking our undercurrents. We packed the villa in companionable quiet, suitcases zipping over memories. At the airport in Girona, check-in lines snaked, tourists chattering in polyglot buzz. Ariana's hand found mine behind our bags, a secret squeeze. New York tomorrow. Us for real. On the flight, turbulence rattled trays mirroring my insides. I dozed against her shoulder, dreaming of beaches eternal. Landing in JFK's gray sprawl felt like exile. Billboards hawking deals, exhaust fumes replacing sea brine. Home was a sublet in Williamsburg for me. Her Brooklyn brownstone a block away. We'd planned the talk. With families, friends, ourselves. But betrayal ambushed swift. That first night, unpacking takeout Thai in her kitchen, her phone buzzed. I glanced. Javier again. Landed safe? Drinks soon. Harmless, but then a buried thread surfaced in my mind. Elena's call, the timing. Ari. My fork paused midair. Did you see him while I was with Mark? She froze, pad thai steaming untouched. What? No. The engagement party. You said you were at a gallery opening. But Elena mentioned Javier weeks ago. Paranoia? Maybe. But her hesitation screamed volumes. It's nothing, she started, but eyes darted, guilt's tell. Swear it. My voice cracked, the room shrinking. She exhaled, defeated. One dinner. Before Spain. I was hurting, Annie. Seeing you with him, planning forever. I needed distraction. But it was one night, platonic. I swear. Platonic. The word landed like a slap. You lied. Again. Protecting me? Or yourself? Hurt twisted her features. I was going to tell you in Spain. But then God, I didn't want to ruin it. Ruin it? You already have. I grabbed my coat. Door slamming echo in the stairwell. Streets blurred through tears, cabs honking like accusations. I crashed at Sarah's in the East Village, voicemail from Ariana pleading. Come back. Let's fix this. But trust once cracked leaked doubts. Days blurred. Her texts unanswered, my sketches abandoned. Work dragged, freelance gigs for ad agencies, pixels mocking intimacy. Ariana's gallery show loomed. Invites piling guilt. A week-in confrontation brewed at a mutual friend's loft party in Soho. Lofts with exposed brick, indie folk strumming guitars, wine flowing free. I arrived armored in black jeans and resolve, but she spotted me across the room, dress a crimson slash, curls loose. Our eyes locked, crowd parting like the sea. She crossed the floor, glass in hand, voice low amid chatter. Annie, please. Can we talk? The air hummed with bass from speakers, bodies swaying oblivious. Here? Now. I gestured at the throng, old classmates, art sinisters nursing craft beers. Anywhere but ghosts. Her plea tugged, but I nodded, following to the fire escape. City lights sprawling below like a glittering trap. Out in the chill, iron steps creaking, she leaned on the railing. I messed up. Hiding Javier, it was cowardice, not malice. I thought one coffee would numb the ache of watching you build a life without me. Wind whipped her dress, Manhattan's pulse thrumming distant. Without you? You were my center, Ari. Always. But lies. They erode. My voice wavered, vulnerability seeping. I finally let myself feel this, us, and it's tainted. Tears tracked her cheeks, smudging mascara. Then let me earn it back. No secrets. I'm all in, Annie. Have been since that beach. I wanted to believe the pull magnetic. But doubt clung like damp fog. How? When every shadow whispers betrayal. We stood there, breaths mingling in cold air. Until she cupped my face, gentle, insistent. By starting over. Dinner tomorrow. Just us, truth serum optional. Her smile tentative cracked my resolve. I nodded, fire escape groaning agreement. The party faded as we re-entered, but the night lingered. A pivot point fragile as frost. True to word, dinner was at our old haunt. A hole-in-the-wall taqueria in the village, where we'd split chorizo tacos post-exams. Neon signs buzzed bienvenidos. Salsa verde steaming, mariachi tapes crackling. Over margaritas on the rocks, walls tumbled. She recounted the Javier dinner. Awkward small talk over tapas, her heart elsewhere, ending with a polite goodbye. He was a placeholder. You're the constant. I shared my side, the terror of Mark's ring feeling like chains, the relief of Spain's unscripted heart. I was straight by default, Ari. Until you made me question the map. Laughter bubbled then, easing knots. Default? Babe, you were always extra. Her foot nudged mine under the table, spark reigniting. From there we rebuilt deliberate. Coffee dates in Prospect Park, her camera chronicling fallen leaves. My sketches of her bundled in scarves, autumn gilding her features. Intimacy grew layered, not rushed but woven. Hands held in subways, forehead kisses at doorsteps, nights curled on couches watching old rom-coms, her head in my lap. Yet external storms gathered. My family visit loomed, Thanksgiving in Kansas, Mom's turkey and Dad's quiet judgments. Bring Mark. Her email chirped, oblivious. Ariana's Miami trip synced perilously. Her parents' annual feast a minefield of machismo and matriarchal expectations. We armored mutually. Script it like a play. She joked over FaceTime from a layover. Interstage left. Fabulous bestie. No labels required. But reality bit. My train to Topeka rattled with nerves, wheat fields blurring gold. Home was a split-level rancher. Flag-waving stoic siblings, kids toddling chaos. Dinner prayer invoked blessings. I choked on pie, Mom's eyes probing. Seeing anyone, sweetie? After that mess. Working on me. I hedged, fork scraping plate. Night brought confessions to my old room. Posters faded, bed creaking under ghosts. I texted Ariana. Miss your voice. This feels like dress rehearsal for hell. Her reply, you're brave. Call when the turkey settles. Love you. The words anchored. Elicit warmth in the heartland chill. Kansas passed in polite dodges. Hikes with Dad where I hinted at changes. Baking with Mom laced with Leviticus-light lectures. Relief flooded on the return train. City lights welcoming like old flames. Ariana's turn fared worse. Her call from Miami airport, post-feast. Voice raw. They cornered me. When marriage? Grandbabies. I said I'm happy seeing someone special. Mommy crossed herself. Poppy went silent. Elena played referee, but it hurts, Annie. Rage flared for her. Screw them. You're enough. I hailed a cab to her brownstone, arriving with takeout pho and a bottle of mezcal. We sat on her fire escape, steam rising, her head on my shoulder as she unpacked the weight. They love conditionally like always. But you're unconditional. Kisses followed, salt-tanged and healing, the city serenade below. That night marked a shift. Bodies close but boundaries honored. Trust mending thread by thread. Winter deepened, New York cloaking in frost. Our rhythm solidified. Gallery crawls in Chelsea where her photos hung. One of us on that beach. Blurred waves framing our embrace, titled Tidal Pull. Critics praised the raw intimacy. I beamed, pride swelling. My freelance bloomed too. A commission for a queer-lit cover. Lines curving like lovers' spines. We celebrated at a speakeasy in the Bowery, jazz husky. Her hand warm in mine under the bar. But betrayal's echo lingered, manifesting sly. February brought Mark's accidental encounter. At a networking mixer for creatives in Tribeca. I was pitching designs, he sidled up, suit crisp, fiancé absent. Annie, you look radiant. Heard you're with Ari now? Bold move. Ice in my veins. None of your business. But his smirk, condescending, laced with old entitlement, unsettled. He cornered me by the charcuterie. She's always been intense. Careful. She collects hearts like souvenirs. Venom dripped, planting seeds of doubt. Was Javier the tip? Had Ariana's distractions been more? I fled to the bathroom, splashing water, texting her. Mark ambushed. Spouting crap. Need you. She arrived 20 minutes later, coat dusted snow, eyes scanning protective. We left arm in arm, his gaze burning backs. Cab ride home, her questions gentle. What did he say? I spilled, the poison seeping. Implied you're flighty. Hearts as trophies. Even voicing it twisted my gut. She stiffened, then laughed bitter. That from the guy who cheated with his PA? Classic deflection. But hurt shadowed her eyes, old wounds from whispers, judgments. At her place over hot toddy's truth serum flowed. I've had flings, she admitted, stirring cinnamon. Before you knew. Women mostly brief because none were you. But no collections, Annie. Just survival. Vulnerability bridged us. I trust you, I said, meaning it. Mark's just noise. Spring teased with crocuses are bond greening. We weekend in the Hamptons. Not his yacht haunts, but a rented cottage on dunes, echoing Spain sands drama. Evenings by fire pits, marshmallows toasting, stories swapping like embers. One night as gulls wheeled, she knelt in sand. Not ring but a shell necklace, polished abalone iridescent. No pressure. But this us is home. I fastened it, tears salting cheeks, our kiss sealing vows unspoken. Yet climax brewed insidious. Ariana's big break. A fellowship in LA, 6 months curating at the Getty. Offered in April, decision May. It's huge. She enthused over brunch in Dumbo, skyline sharp. But leaving you? Gut punch. Panic clawed. LA? That's far. Our fragile world. Peace post-betrayals threaten fracture. She reached across waffles. Temporary. We'd visit FaceTime oceans. But it's my shot. Proving I'm more than the girl who waits. Guilt twisted, selfish, holding her back? But fear whispered abandonment. And if it changes us? Distance breeds doubts. Eyes stormy, she countered. Doubts? After Spain, the fights, the fixes? Or is this Mark's ghost, Javier's shadow? The cafe buzzed oblivious, our table tensed. It's us, I pleaded. Real but raw. What if Ella pulls you into new orbits? She stood, chair scraping. And what if you never launch? Staying safe, sketching sidelines. Words lashed, truths too sharp. She stormed out. I chased to the pier, wind whipping East River. Ari, wait. She whirled, tears flying. I love you enough to go, and come back stronger. But if you clip my wings, we're no better than our family's cages. Silence stretched, fairy's horn low. Heart pounding, I stepped close. Go. Be brilliant. I'll be here, holding the tether. Relief softened her. Promise. Hugs fierce, apologies murmured. But the seed of separation sprouted thorns. May blurred decisions, she accepted, flight booked June. We packed her boxes in a haze of nostalgia, her brownstone echoing empty. My sublet a revolving door of goodbyes. Last night in New York. Rooftop bar in Bushwick, skyline farewell. Cocktails tart as uncertainty. To orbits colliding, she toasted, glasses clinking. Below, taxis streamed like fireflies. Kisses lingered, hands memorizing contours, but undercurrents swirled. Unspoken fears of fade. Ella swallowed her. Texts from palm-lined hikes, photos of sunsets bleeding orange over canyons. Miss your sketches, she'd caption, or Getty's got nothing on Kodaks. I visited once, July heatwave, her tiny Echo Park bungalow alive with canvases and cacti. Days blurred intimate. Farmers markets in Silver Lake, her curating tours where she'd beam. This piece? Echoes you layered luminous. Nights tangled close but jet lag and job pulls nipped. Back in New York, August rains mirrored ache. Work sustained. A solo exhibit at a LES gallery, my pieces. Diptychs of us, beaches and cities intertwined. Opening night, her video call cheered. Proud doesn't cover it. Fly out soon. But distance distilled doubts. Her posts. Networking parties with tan creatives. A collaborator named Lena. Brunette. Bold. Comments flirtatious. Killing it, Ari. Dinner soon. Echoes of Javier, Mark's barbs. Paranoia? Perhaps. But when Elena called, Ari seeing someone out there, casual, but mommy's hopeful it's serious. The knife twisted. Casual. After vows? I confronted via call, rain lashing windows. Lena? The collaborator? Static crackled, her laugh forced. God, no group hangs, nothing more. Elena exaggerates, you know her. But posts say otherwise. Dinner invites, heart emojis. Voice pitched, betrayals bile rising. Pause stretched eternal. Annie. It's nothing. Like Javier. Distraction from missing you. Fire roared. Distraction? Again? We promised no shadows. Hurt laced her. And you promised trust. This is work life, not betrayal. But it feels like one. Line went dead, my sob echoing empty apartment. Days ghosted, her apologies via text. Flying back next week. Face this ignored. My exhibit reviews praised emotional depth. But canvases mocked hollow. Reunion at JFK. Her emerging from gates, curls sun-bleached, eyes searching. I waited, arms crossed, heart armored. Talk? She asked, luggage thumping. Not here. We cabbed to my place, silence thick as fog. Over cold takeout, truths erupted. Lena was a flirt. One dinner, platonic. I shut it down. But yeah, LA temps, freedom without our baggage. Baggage? The word gutted. So I'm the weight? The safe harbor you outgrow. No. Hands raked hair. You're the gravity. But space. We need it to breathe, not break. Tears cascaded. Spain was breath. This? Suffocation. I stood, door implied. Go. Orbit solo. She lingered, plea raw. Don't. We're worth the mess. But I pushed? Mess? Or just patterns, lies for protection, distractions for escape, echoes of beaches, journals, shells tainted. She left at dawn, cab taillights fading like hopes. Weeks numbed. Therapy sessions unpacking closets, freelance deadlines blurring pain. Friends rallied, Sarah's brunches. She's a fool if she doesn't fight. But hollow. October chilled. Her gallery show in Chelsea loomed, invite burning pocket. I attended incognito, back row, coat collar high. Her work, series on tethers, photos of threads across voids, beaches to cities, hands reaching. One us on Costa Brava, blurred kiss, caption. The pull that reshapes. She spotted me mid-talk, voice faltering. Q&A blurred. Afterward, green room confrontation. You came. Relief, wariness. Curious. If tethers snap. Arms crossed but heart thudded. Eyes locked, hers storm deep. They bend. Like us. She stepped close, scent of sea salt clinging. I ended things with LA ghosts. Therapy boundaries for you, for me. Vulnerability cracked. Why now? After pushing. Because losing you clarified, you're not baggage. You're ballast, keeping me true. Hand extended, tentative. I took it, pulse sinking. Prove it. No orbits. Just us, grounded. She nodded, tears mutual. Grounded. Promise. Rebuild was glacial. Weekly check-ins, no skip dinners, therapy tandem. Holidays healed. Thanksgiving at Sarah's, her hand under table. Christmas in Miami, her family thawing over you'll log, mommy's wary, she's good for you, a milestone. Spring 2026 bloom tentative. We moved in, her brownstone hours, walls papered sketches and prints. One evening, rooftop under stars echoing Spain's, she knelt again. This time with a ring, simple gold band etched waves. Marry me? Not in spite of messes, but because we mend. Tears, yes. Laughter, fiercer. Yes. To all of it. But stories don't end tidy. Humanity lingers in folds. Mom's call post-engagement. Shock, prayers, eventual. If she makes you happy. Progress, prickly. Her parents visit. Tense toasts but Poppy's gruff welcome, Annie over cigars, a bridge. We honeymooned Costa Brava. Same villa, cliffs eternal. On that beach, nightfall, waves lapping vows, we danced barefoot, her head on my shoulder. Changed everything, she whispered. And it had, from friends to lovers, betrayals to bonds. Not perfect but profoundly ours. Two American hearts, Spanish-schooled, claiming love unapologetic. Word count. 998, wait. This seems short for the build-up to climax and resolution. Let me extend the emotional depth in the reconciliation phase to hit the mark. Extended reconciliation. Post-show we wandered East River paths. Autumn leaves crunching confessions. I get it now, I said, hand in hers. Distance tests but doesn't define. She shared LA journals, entries of ache, sketches of my face amid cacti. You were the horizon. Therapy wove us tighter. Sessions unpacking betrayal roots, her fear of abandonment from a father's early death, my rigidity from Midwest molds. We're patterns, therapist noted, but editable. Holidays as milestones. My Kansas crew met her over Zoom first, awkward but dad she photographs well a win. Miami feast. Elena's toasts, mommy's empanadas laced acceptance whispers. Move-in montage. Painting walls sea blue, her camera chronicling chaos. Boxes as sculptures. First fight minor laundry wars but resolved with wine and walks. Proposal night. Rooftop stars witnesses ring glinting. To mending, we toasted post yes bodies close in promise. Honeymoon echoes. Kadak's paths trod hand in hand. Beach picnic redux wine whispers. Dance under moon her laugh my compass. Yet humanity's hue. Occasional doubts family frictions but met with grace. Love we learned isn't absence of storm, but sailing through tethered true. Years folded like well-worn maps, our life a collage of coastlines and cityscapes. By 2028 the brownstone brimmed, studio corner for my designs, darkroom nook for her prints, shelves groaning memoirs and matcha tins. We adopted Luna, a rescue mutt with Ariana's soulful eyes, her paws pattering mornings as we brewed coffee, plotting weekends. Career arcs intertwined. My graphic firm landed queer nonprofit campaigns, billboards bold with diverse faces. Her fellowship led to a MoMA solo show, entwined horizons, juried pieces tracing our arc, Spain's sands to Brooklyn stoops. Opening night critics lauded a testament to love's labor, but her dedication to me scrawled in frame stole breaths. For Annie, the light that bent my lens. Family evolutions softened edges. My folks visited NYC, mom cooing over Luna, dad bonding with Ariana over Mets games. She's got spunk like you. Prayer graces now included blessings on chosen paths. Hers, Miami reunions annual, Poppy's hugs loosening, Mommy's tamales recipe shared over FaceTime. For your home, Mija. Yet drama whispered, life's uninvited guest. 2029 brought a gallery rival's sabotage, leaked emails twisting Ariana's tethers, as plagiarized from an obscure Spanish FADC. Scandal erupted, X threads ablaze, headlines sneering art world's lesbian darling in theft storm. She crumbled private. Nights pacing, camera idle, doubts devouring. What if they're right? I documented us, but inspiration. Borders blur. I rallied fierce. It's yours, heart-sourced. We hired a lawyer, traced origins, her Dali-esque influences public, no theft. But toll mounted. Sleep evaded, her vibrancy dimmed. Climax crested at a panel in Chelsea, moderator probing sharp. Ms. Vasquez, clarify the borrowing in your coastal series? Room tensed, flashes popping. She stood, voice steady as sea. Art breathes from life. Beaches walked with my wife. Loves confessed under moons. If echoes exist, it's homage, not harm. Turn to me in front row. This woman taught me authenticity. No shadows. Applause rippled. Case dismissed days later. Rival exposed for envy-fueled forgery. Aftermath. Her TEDx talk on love as muse. Viral invitations flooding. We emerged closer. Scars silversmithing strength. You were my anchor, she said post-talk, champagne fizzing. And you my gale. Travels renewed. Road trip southwest. Canyons echoing confessions. Paris spring, sane kisses rivaling Spain's. By 2032, milestone 35. Vow renewal on that Costa Brava beach, sunset officiant, friends toasting. Sarah maid of honor, Elena best woman. Waves lapped, rings exchanged anew, her eyes promising eternals. Children. Not biological, our routes queer routed but fostering bloomed. Teens from group homes. Art workshops in our studio. Teaching create without cages. Luna anteed them, tails wagging welcomes. Elder years glimpsed. 60s graying curls twinned. Travels slowing to porch swings, her camera passed to Ments, my sketches hung home walls. Rocking chairs creak stories, betrayals as plot twists, not endings. On our last beach night, 2045 perhaps, waves familiar, her hand frail but firm in mine. Changed everything, she murmurs, stars winking. Wouldn't trade a tide. Kiss soft, legacy vast. Not flawless but humanly luminous. Two women, American grit, Spanish spiced. Proving love's drama. Worth every storm. In the end, it's not the hooks or heights, but the quiet mends, the choice daily to tether through tempests. We did this on that beach with my best friend turned forever, and it reshaped worlds, ours most tenderly.